welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you some more coverage of the Kesler Cup semifinals today. So this is pretty cool, folks. We were getting pretty far into the Kesler Cup these days. Actually, currently the final round is being played out, and it's actually like 3 games in right now, so it's some pretty exciting stuff. Pretty exciting stuff indeed. I'm very invested in you know, what's going on right now, so I'm excited to see what's actually going to occur with it. There's going to be lots of streams happening with the various content creators all around the Advance Wars community involved in this tournament, so it's going to be a very interesting time indeed. So we got some games here today. Obviously, we got some games here, all of which are from the Holy Polish Empire, and it's going to be an absolutely awesome time. Now, the Holy Polish Empire today, for the semifinals, they were fighting against a team called the Hunchmen. They're fighting against the Hunchmen today, and it's going to be a pretty cool time indeed. So we're going to just go ahead, jump into some of these games here, folks, and see what is going on. Now, I think it's on this one here. Yeah, there we go, folks. We're over here, and we got ourselves a little game. This is the bronze match between Bapton and Crowd. So the map that they are playing on today is called A Trip to the Moon. Now, we won't actually be going to the moon today. That's not a thing that's going to be happening. But what is going to happen is a lot of chaos is going to be ensuing here very quickly. So I'm all for it, folks. I'm all for it indeed. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start going through this one. So we can see here, we got ourselves a very neat matchup. We got Sasha versus Javier. Javier, man. Hopefully he's going to be Javierin all over the place, folks. Sometimes Javier gets Javiered himself, and it's not very good, but most of the time, Javier is really good at Javierin all over the place. So we'll see what happens here. Now, you know what? Just for the sake of it, we're going to do a little thing here. So Bapton is originally about a 733 or a 793 Global League player, which is pretty good. You know, it's pretty good. It's not too bad. Crowd is 782. So both of these players are in the 700s, which is fine. You know, that's exactly where the bronze players tend to be. But the one thing that is really nice about this tournament is just the sheer fact, and it doesn't matter what your rating is, doesn't matter what your skill level is. What matters is that every single game that you play is just as important as everybody else's, because you gotta get that accumulation of wins in order to actually progress to the next round. So, lovely format indeed. So let's go ahead and jump into this, and let's see what's going to be happening between these two players here. So, boom, a boom, Crowd busts out the standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field, folks. It is the #1 priority in Advance Wars by Web. Obviously, the #2 priority in Advance Wars by Web, folks. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more Advance Wars and by Web content. Alrighty, folks. Hopefully, you all are having a fantastic day yourself as well. It is currently Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday in some places of the world, but currently here it is Tuesday. So that is what we are doing, folks. Living life on a Tuesday. Alrighty. Boom, 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 boom. So both players are going to be going for that neutral base, folks. So the neutral base is very important when it comes to the overall success of the mission. We have a base, or not a base, a city skip over here from Crowd. So the city skip is like pretty decent, you know. I don't really mind the city skip too much. Sasha will eventually just sort of regain those funds anyways, you know, and it does put her in a position where she can get a little bit closer to one of the properties, especially down in the corner. These properties down here in the corner, they are very difficult to get for you know, the corner bases over here, they tend to just more or less fall to the opposite player. So, I don't know. I guess they would technically fall to this player. So going over here is pretty good, because that'll actually allow you to sort of suffocate this base a little bit quicker. So, yeah, I don't mind it. But it's also very difficult to go up against the old Javier once he gets the comm tower. But on a map like this, it does actually take a little while for Javier to get that comm tower. It's not like an immediate gratification sort of thing. You know, I know that people these days, you know, they're all about the immediate gratification. But, yeah, that comm tower is not going to be coming online for quite a bit of time. And we already have a very curious buy over here from Crowds. So, the day-to-day ability over here from Javier is he gets 20% defense against indirect units. And Crowd has decided to bust out an artillery as his first buy, which is interesting. It's an interesting buy. I don't necessarily have too much of an issue with people buying artillery against Javier. There is only one day when, you know, it really doesn't work out too well. But in general, this is a very choke pointy area here. So if you are able to get the artillery in position, it can help you to break this line. And considering that Javier has very good defenses once the comm tower comes online, sometimes having that indirect support is very good for breaking these lines. This will potentially help in overcoming this base a little bit quicker. So maybe that's the game plan here. I don't know. We'll see when it comes down to it, folks. We'll see what occurs. Alrighty. So, Javier, Mr. Bapton, he is now in position to go in and capture the comm tower next turn. So in 3 days from now, or 2 days from now, that comm tower is going to be coming online, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Got to be getting it online. Need it online, like, right now. Right now would be actually very nice, but obviously it's not going to happen just yet. Kind of a curious little thing. So we're moving the artillery over here. We're foregoing, like, this area right here, which, I mean, it's not necessarily very bad, because the artillery can just come over here and do some damage anyways. But I guess maybe the artillery's plan is to come over here and defend these two captures. I think that's generally what is he's trying to occur. That's what's trying to happen right now. You know what I mean? So, I'm very curious. All right, so Bapton, he actually decides to forego the capture of the comm tower this turn and is going straight towards not interrupting, but capturing the port, which is a very neat move. So he can get the comm tower next turn, which is probably going to happen, but there's also an infantry that could potentially go here and be in position to interrupt the comm tower. Not that that will really happen, because if the infantry foregoes this capture and moves here, it gets hit by this infantry. So it's really not a move that you want to be doing. So essentially, Javier is guaranteed the comm tower no matter what, because it's also in very close base range. So it's going to happen one way or another. The interruption on the property down south, I don't really have too much problem with that. I think that's actually not too bad, but you don't really want to be getting too far away from your base over here, because you will leave yourself a little bit exposed. So Crowd decides to retreat here. So obviously the tanks can't really do anything. So he brings artillery back, brings tank right there, or infantry right here to protect the artillery, which is nice. That infantry is gone, though. Interrupt did occur. Got a double infantry attack on a mountain, which is very curious. Very curious. It does do quite a bit of damage. That's a little bit more iffy, in my opinion. Now, it will slow down these captures, but you lose 2 infantry out of this exchange, essentially, for basically like the price of 1. I would say, because artillery should be able to blast this. It probably won't do enough to actually KO it, but infantry, you do take that out. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. A little chaotic for my liking, but Oh, we're still not going for the comm tower. Bapton's still not going for the comm tower. He's going for the airport. See, I don't mind going for the airport unless you're playing as Javier. Because I would really like to have that offensive ability as Javier. And not even the offensive, but the defensive ability. And it's going to be... Capturing the airport is okay in the long run. But it's also not really going to help you in the short run here. The comm tower would help you out quite a bit more. So we'll see what happens here. It is pretty cool that Bapton managed to go over here and snag this port away from Crowd, though. I do like that. I like that a lot. Some good stuff right there. Alrighty, airport is being acquired over here by Mr. Crowd. And Crowd is pushing in with a few more tanks. 2 tanks, artillery, double infantry. Not too shabby. And has actually built a tank right here, too, which is going to ward away Bapton's tank. Bapton could. He could go in and actually deny the airport right now at the expense of taking a hit from a tank, from a comm tower right here. So that's a possibility. It would be kind of neat denying the airport. I don't know if it's worth the tank hit to do it, but yeah, so he denies the airport. That airport is still going to get captured, though, which is one of the issues here. But it also... Technically, that does slow down this capture. But you do lose the tank, because the tank can't get away from this situation. So the only thing that the tank can really do at this point would be to try to finish the attack. Alright. Day 9 over here from Crowd. Crowd takes a shot on the infantry, then joins the infantry together, giving them an 8 HP infantry. And does take the attack on the tank. Alright, so that's neat. I'm not sure how I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about it. It is kind of nice because we deny the airport temporarily, but it's still an airport that Sasha will be able to get. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't like fully decided yet. I haven't fully decided how I feel about it yet. I think it's might be a little sus, but that's okay. Anyways, so we're going to go for that comm tower now. That's what I'm talking about. So Bapton should be buying a tank out of the north property or battlecopter. Battlecopter is a good buy too. So that's that might be actually be potentially better because it actually does cover all these guys too. And we have enough to get some stuff. I was only thinking tank because then you could buy something out of every one of your bases too. That's not just an infantry. But, I mean, whatever. Artillery. And now we can only buy one more thing. Alrighty, cool. Alright, day 10. A Sasha. 18,700 funds in the bank here today, folks. What will she buy with that money? Ooh, I don't know. I think... Crowd should have just kept on going for the cap here. It's like getting the comm tower is good, but this is at 5. It's still 2 days, so 1, 2. I don't know. I probably would have just continued capping. I mean, it gets the comm tower now, which is nice, but I would have just went for it. Just kept capping. That's me personally. Alright, got a mech over here. Artillery pretty far forward right now, but backed up with a tank, so that's not bad. The mech does prevent the tank from moving in right now, which is pretty nice. Ooh, but there is going to be a free shot with this copter onto the tank, and we're going to have the comm tower, because obviously we're capping that comm tower first, folks. We got to be capping the comm tower first. That's what it's all about. Alright. Okay, so we're going to cap that over there. This is a 13-13 game right now, so it's not really too much of a difference between the two players when it comes to overall income, so it is nice. Obviously, Sasha gets more money from Sasha privilege, but... Oh, curious. Okay. What are we going to do? What are we going to do here? What's the plan? We have to move here so that we can cover this spot. If we don't cover this spot with the artillery, then artillery can get hit here for free. Yeah, we're obviously covering the spot. Why would we not? It just makes sense, folks. It makes sense. It's the only thing we can do in that situation is cover the flipping tank. Alright, so this actually exposes the tank to a first strike here because artillery plus infantry onto the mountain can KO this, allowing the tank can move in, or to move in, and do some damage here. But if the tank moves in, there's also the potential that the tank gets trapped, and then Bapton could buy, oh, I don't know, like just something simple like a mech and take the shot on the tank. And then this tank could just retreat and get heals. So that would be the loss of a tank here. Oh, okay. So market crash right away. Okay, so yeah, you can go in and do that too. Can that get trapped though? Is there a way to trap that? No, there isn't actually a way to trap that. So you could potentially go in and take out the infantry with the old 1-2 combination and get right here. But then it can just be bashed open here. So yeah, so can't be trapped that way, can be attacked this way, so this is nice. Crowd just finding these nice little attacks over here on our good friend Mr. Bapton. Oof, not too shabby. Taking a 5 on a 2 attack there is kind of interesting. So we attacked the tank down south. I like it. Spreading out your damage. Oh, and now the copter is actually going towards the lone base up in the corner. Very interesting indeed. Oh, just crashing the tanks into these tanks. All right. No care, concern over here. That's what I'm talking about. Just bash them. Bash them open, man. All right. I love it. There is actually a fun thing with this map too. Since we actually have the cruisers, we could have actually loaded the battlecopter onto the cruiser, then use the cruiser to move here and drop the battlecopter off right here. So it would have actually been a little bit closer to the front lines over here. Just a small little piece of Advanced Wars information there for you folks. Could have actually dropped the battlecopter off a little bit farther, but this way it does get healed by the black boat, which is nice. But technically, it could have just gotten healed by the black boat next turn too. All right, there goes a tank. There goes another infantry. There goes a 5 on a... Oh my god. These like low HP attacks, man. They're like something else. All right, so it would appear that Javier is going to be able to Javier all over the place here. So... Gonna be getting a co-power without a doubt. Probably even gonna use the co-power. There we go. Tower shield. Let's go. Single tower shield. That's what it's all about. Oh, and there goes the anti-air. Just completely deleted off the face of the planet here. That's what it's all about. Pure deletion. And then just start crashing the infantry in here. Battlecopter moving in. Another tank, another battlecopter, another infantry on the field. Another base skip as well, folks. All right, here we go. 25 units, 20 units right now. Crowd definitely feeling the hurt after that attack. That was definitely one of the attacks of all time right here, folks. Definitely did that damage. Feeling the hurt, and you love to see it. All right, got the market crash. No actual reason to pop the market crash right now. It would be much better just to hold on to the market crash because Bapton only has 2,650 charge after using the tower shield. So using the market crash, essentially at this point, it basically just throws the market crash away. You would be much better just holding on to the market crash and then using it to pressure your opponent later on. But I am a huge fan of the medium tank, folks. You got to get the classiest units and advances by Webb on the field. That's what it's all about. Alrighty, so 13 grand in the bank over here from Bapton. He's going to move in. He's going to do some attacks. I don't know why he's not attacking anything else, but he's moving right here. This is actually a very bad spot to put the battlecopter. Very bad spot to put the battlecopter. Now, it's a bad spot because infantry... Actually, this infantry can just go over here and cap. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4 point surround over here. Crowd builds a battlecopter next turn. That battlecopter is gone. Absolutely gone. And he technically doesn't even need to build a battlecopter. He can build an anti-air too, and then it's 100% gone as well. So, not the best spot to put the battlecopter. I don't know if crowd is going to see it though. Oh, attacking the... Oh, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. That throws away a battlecopter too. Ooh, that move kind of throws away a battlecopter and a tank, actually. Interesting. Okay, so crowd has some very, very good potential on this turn. So let's see if he pulls off some good attacks here. Because, yeah, that's a given. That's a given right there. Could have actually eliminated the infantry if he attacked with this infantry from the road, then moved this one onto the mountain. That would have secured the KO there. Medium tank's moving in. He does surround the battlecopter. Okay, yep. Good job, crowd. Actually, it's very nice that he spotted that move, because that's definitely a very strong move right here. Okay, so Bapton, what are we going to do here? Battlecopter's trapped. Going to go in and smack a tank. All right. Builds a medium tank. My man busting out the fattest, classiest units and advances by Webb. Got another medium tank on the field. Love to see it. And now, ooh, Bapton is putting himself in actually a very good position right here. So he's in a position right now where it is very likely he's going to be able to pounce like a rabbit, rabbit on this base right here. It's definitely going to be happening. And crowd is actually... Oh, you know what? It's actually fairly likely that crowd is not going to be able to get the co-power. Like, I don't think he's going to get the co-power. Nope. And he can't get the co-power, which means Bapton gets another power. Now, if crowd had actually held on to his co-power instead of using it the turn before, Javier would not be getting this power. Like, it wouldn't happen. But anyway, so we popped the tower shield. We got some potential attacks here, so we got to be taking them. Got to be taking every potential attack that we get. Now, we lose another copter in this engagement, which is kind of annoying, but that's okay. It's okay. There's not really many other attacks that crowd can take right now. He could potentially... I would like to say he could potentially attack the medium tank, but no, that's not going to happen. It's not a possibility, folks. We ain't going to be going in for those attacks. Not going to happen. 100% not happening here today. Yeah, no. No, it's definitely not. Definitely not happening. Nope. All right. Crowd is going down for his 2 properties down south, plus a 3rd, actually. So potentially going to be getting 3 caps this turn. That's pretty nice. Oh, built a medium tank. All right. So got another medium tank on the field. Beauty. Absolute beaut. Runs out of time, though. All right. So we are going to... Ooh, that's a great position for the artillery. Oh, my God. Yep. Yep. That's the position right there, folks. That's where you want to be. All right, I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, is there a way how this actually does not work out very well for Mr. Bapton? Let's see. So this will be healed up to 3. This will be 2. I don't think a 3 and a 2 KO this, but maybe. So the way that this can be really bad for Bapton is if the 3, the 2, and the 8 manage to get a KO on this. If they all go in and strike this tank down and actually manage to get the KO, then I think what would happen here with our giant damage calculator, I think a 5 HP. It depends on the chip. It really depends on the chip. But if we do a market crash, we got a 52 to 56% roll on this infantry. So there is the possibility that it might be destroyed. So we'll see. See what happens with that one. Now, are we going to be crashing into that tank and taking the roll? I think we crash into the tank and take the roll, personally. Like, without a doubt. I'm going to be doing it. Oh, that medium tank just took some heavy damage. Oh, and the artillery took heavy damage, too. Oh, the damage, it's so big. No. That's not the way we want it. It's not the way we want it to go down. Wait, are we out of time? Oh my god, is Crowd out of time? Oh, he ran out of time. That's the only moves he was able to do. Oh, man. Father Time strikes another one. Then Crowd resigns. Oh, my lord. That's actually super unfortunate. Super unfortunate for Crowd. Actually, Crowd was doing okay. Now, the big question here right now is if this would actually be able to do the damage, right? So we got the power activated. Let's just go ahead and take a quick gander and see what the rolls are going to be here. So 20, potentially 20. Take it down to 1. And then what's the roll in this? 4 to 10. The odds are fairly okay that that actually works. So, yeah. You know what? I would have taken it. And then if it doesn't work, you just run away with the medium tank anyways. That's about it. Yeah, unfortunate end for Mr. Crowd there, but well played to Bapton. We like wins. We like wins. Anyways, so we're going to be jumping immediately to 2 tiers up. So I think this is the gold game between Magician 2000 and Raipika. Because the silver game between Lemon and Valior was an agreed draw because it was unnecessary to the actual outcome of the round, so they just decided to play a draw. So if I remember this game correctly, it's pretty fun. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. We got ourselves an Adamir on Caustic Finale, one of the most popular maps in the entire Advance Wars by Web roster. Alright, so Raipika. It's going in as Blue Moon. I don't know what the Hunchman's colors are. I think it's actually Red Fire, but we're not doing Orange Star and Red Fire because you can't see. Can't see anything, folks. We're not doing it. Alright, Raipika. He boasts out the standard infantry builds because you gotta get them on the field, folks. Alrighty, so Caustic Finale, you know, there's a bunch of different ways to go about Caustic Finale, but essentially the way that it works out is you want to be rushing your opponent's headquarters and acquiring that headquarters for your own personal gain. That's what you want to be doing, folks, more or less, but there's a bunch of different ways to go about it, you know. You have to win corners, you have to win the center, you have to push correctly, you can't overextend, you have to make sure you got reinforcements, and then you're having yourselves just a very, very good time. Alrighty. This is going to be a whole lot of adderage. So we're going to do that, and we are going to do random. And we are not just going to be listening to the adder theme get repeated every single 2 seconds. Alright. That's what we're doing, folks. That's what we're doing. Okay, let me just chuck something real quick here. Boom. Shoo-ba-da-doo. There we go. Alrighty. Alrighty, so it would appear that Pika has busted out an artillery, one of the fattest artilleries in Advanced by Web, folks. He's got it on the field and he is ready to send it to the top corner, because that is what Pika does. He is a man of artillery, and he loves to send them to the top corner. So actually, it's probably one of his top 5 favorite things to do in not just Advanced by Web, but just in general. I don't know if that to be a factual statement, but I'm going to say it's a factual statement. Alright, Magician 2000, though, he's a different kind of guy, you know? He's a tank kind of guy. He's not an artillery kind of guy. He's a get in your face and start blasting you with a tank kind of guy. That's what he's all about. That's what he's doing here today, folks. Alrighty, bada bing, bada boom, and the infantry go flooding to the center of the map here. No person has gone for the forbidden property yet, folks. The forbidden property being 1106. This is the property that is the most contested in the entire game. Actually, we're going to call 1106 the most contested property in the entire game. But the forbidden property is 611. So 1106, that's the property that everybody wants. Now, 611 is the property that nobody gets. Because nobody caps 611. This is not a thing that happens, unless you're Kindle. Kindle can usually cap it. But everybody else, you know, are just sitting here trying to acquire it. Just putting a bunch of infantry beside it, just staring it down, just waiting for that firm, opportune moment when it can finally happen. But you know what? I'm sorry to say, folks, but most of the time, it just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. The dream is dead, folks. You're not going to get the property. Don't even try. Just sit there and look at it. Ah, man, Magician 2000, he's going for it, folks. He is going for the property. That's going to be getting the big old stinky double tap. You know it's going to happen. Without a doubt, let's see it occur, because the comm tower is now being acquired over here by Pika, and Pika finds a hit. He finds a big old tank hit. And then we get the big old stinky double tap over here. Big flipping double tap action right here, folks. That's what it's all about. And then we got the interrupt on 1106 as well. Or is this 611? No, it's 1106. Alright, so Magician tried to go for the most contested and the forbidden property on the exact same day, and they both got denied. Very unfortunate indeed for Mr. Magician 2000, but he's not going to let that get to him, folks. You know, it's all part of the Magic Man's plan. He's going to be going down for some corner properties right now. He's going to be acquiring that comm tower, and he's going to be running away. Running away with a few units, and then, ooh, would you just take a gander over here, folks? He's actually put himself in a position where he has smacked an infantry out of existence, and managed to block his tank with his own little pesky little infantry right here, which is quite nice, folks. Quite nice indeed. Beautiful stuff. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it indeed. We got a mech on the field now. Holy moly, folks. Holy moly, folks. Some of you might be thinking, oh my god, Semi, this magic man, this magical 2000 man over here. He's busted out a mech. Do we bust out mechs in Caustic Finale? I don't know. Perhaps we do. Perhaps we don't. It's just the way it goes. Hello, Kesler. Welcome to the stream. You're the first one to say anything in chat. Welcome. Welcome indeed. I see that you are now the proud owner of a yellow Comet medium tank beside your name. So wear it like a badge of honor, my friend. Wear it like a badge of honor. Beautiful stuff. Alrighty, folks. Let's carry on here. Got a big old flip attempt happening over here from Mr. Magician 2000. 4 infantry, one of which is capping, 1 artillery, and blocking the way. Guarding. That's the way it is. Big guards over here. Got another big old infantry strike right here. Yellow Comet is one of the classiest of all the medium tanks, Mr. Kesler, so you're definitely correct about that. Alrighty, got another hit. Ooh, decent. Alright, so Magician, he goes up, he does some attacks. Now he's facing down 3 tanks on one side, 1 tank on another side. And a tank down south that has gone to interrupt the property. It's a very curious situation indeed. It's not the situation that some people want to be in, but it is the situation that people find themselves in quite often. Can Magician fight his way out of this position? Well, we'll be finding out very soon, folks. Oh, interesting. All right, we got a big old hit, folks. Got a big old hit, and then we're going in with a tank. Going in with a tank. Going in with a second tank. Oh, my lord-a-poo. Oh, my lord-a-poo, folks. This magic man, the Magician 2000, he takes the roll, folks. He takes the 33% chance roll, and he gets it. And the craziest thing about it is the first roll that he took is probably one of the worst rolls that he could have taken, because his counter damage was the exact same as his damage, which is not fun. It's absolutely not fun. But he managed to take out the tank on the base, which is super fun, in my opinion. Now, if it happened to me, I wouldn't think it's that fun. But since it happened to somebody that's not on my team, I think it's one of the funniest things in the entire game. So I'm all for it. Here we go, folks. Raipika goes in, takes the old attack on the tank, and then pops the side slipperino, folks. The side slipperino. Now, I remember watching this game on stream. And this was a very interesting turn. Very interesting turn. So Raipika, he's got moves here, right? Now, obviously, he could potentially go up and just start smacking infantry, move the artillery forward, lock the base this turn. And even if he doesn't want to lock the base, he could put lots of stuff really close over here and get pretty close to locking the base. But the one thing that is the most important thing here is the fact that this can go over here and attack this tank, and this infantry can go over here and attack this mech, which is really good. It's really good in my opinion, you know, and I think it was really good in the opinion of many people that were watching, because I know for sure that, you know, my good buddy there, Mr. Bogeus, I'm pretty sure that his blood pressure rose significantly during this portion of the game. And, yeah, he really wanted these tank hits to happen, without a doubt. But I digress. They did not happen. And the classiest of all the units, the medium tank, was created this day, folks. On day 9, caustic finale between Magician 2000 and Raipika, the medium tank arrived on day 9. Beautiful stuff. You love to see it, folks. Now, I would personally love to see more of an attack here, because honestly, if you busted out the medium tank and attacked all the way up to the mech, that would have just completely shambled this army, in my opinion. Now, is there some sort of counterplay that Magician might be able to do at that point? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not really. You know, even with a co-power, you can't reach the attack and tank over here. Now, maybe like a tank plus a mech would have been able to go up and maybe take out one of the tanks here. But your base is way closer over here. And you got the medium tank now, folks. You got the big donkin' medium tank over here. Big old stocky boy. You know, he's gonna survive. And he's gonna carry the entire game. Alright. So, Magician 2000 decides to pop a co-power here. He pops a big old co-power and then surrounds the medium tank. He surrounds the classiest unit because he just appreciates and loves the classy boy so much that he just wants to be really close to him and enjoy his company. And that's what he wants to do. That is the narrative that I'm going with here. And then he builds a classy boy of his own because he's also feeling pretty classy. He's got 22,000 income and 4 bases. So, I mean, if you want to be holding the base, that's a decent move. You know, it's what you want to do. You want to be holding that base, folks. All right, so loses everything else in the area. So now the medium tank has absolutely no friends, which is very unfortunate. We do like to have friends, the medium tank. The medium tank is a firm believer in friendship. And Raipika also knows that. That's why he's decided to bust out a second medium tank. He's got 2 medium tanks over by his headquarters now. Quite brutal, if I'm going to be so bold here. All right, so we go in, take an attack on tank, manage to get the KO with the infantry, then attack with the artillery. Big old artillery friends taking the engagement, and then we have some more infantry moving up. Still going for the forbidden property, though. Very interesting going for that forbidden property. It's not necessarily going to be happening, but he's going for it, so that's what it is. So unfortunately, the attack with the mech onto the tank has sort of opened up the floodgates here to unsustained carnage, which could potentially be happening in the form of this medium tank just completely obliterating this mech right here. And potentially you wouldn't even really need a co-power, but with a co-power you guarantee it. So co-power moving in over here, that does guarantee the KO on the mech, allowing for this medium tank right here sitting at 8 hit points move up here and take a big old attack on the artillery. Now, the one thing that can't be stopped in this scenario is the flip of the city here. So the city flip will more than likely be going to Mr. Magician 2000 at the cost of some units. So it is very unfortunate that we lose those units, but it is very nice that we get the property. And in a situation where you're going to be 21 properties to 18, very advisable to be in that situation. Alrighty, Lemon Boy, welcome to the stream, my friend. Alrighty, and I just realized that my chat box is all the way down here, so let's go ahead and put that right there. It's not the place that we want it to be. Alright, favorite game with the about of blank classiness on the field. Alright. It did have a lot of classiness in this game, I'll tell you that much. Sheer class all over the place. Alrighty, so let's see what we got going on here. Where did my mouse go? There we are. Alrighty. Power. Power activation. And then obviously Raipika is going to go for this attack because he sees it immediately. This man is a man of plans. And his plans are to attack as many things as he can possibly attack. Now, if Raipika had a little bit more money here, he would put himself in a very good position because that would allow him to, I don't know, maybe like bust out another medium tank, which would be pretty good. It would be pretty good. I would be a big fan of having another medium tank, but 2 tanks is also equally good. Now, Magician does need to watch out here because he has put himself in a little bit of a situation where his headquarters could get jumped on, but he's got 2 mechs in position that can interrupt. He's got the medium tank and the tank that can interrupt. But he doesn't want to lose his base either, which is one thing that we're going to be watching out for here. The other thing that I forgot to mention the turn before is Magician actually built a black boat, which was specifically so that Raipika can't grab his port, which is really funny because I do this all the time too. Whenever people get too close to my port, I'm like, nope, that's my port. You ain't getting my port. It's too important to me. Alright, mech to medium tank attack, leading to the side slip. Let's see what occurs with this one here. We're going to go in with the tank to attack, infantry to attack, and we are getting that port, folks. That port is ours. Oh, going in with the infantry to attack the tank, going in with a tank to attack the tank, gets the KO, moves the infantry onto the base, and is now acquiring the base for himself. Oh my gosh, and builds another medium tank. You love to see it, folks. Now, unfortunately, I do believe that the attack on the base, I believe it is a futile attempt to actually get the base. Now, it's mainly not going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because obviously, you got 2 medium tanks here that can attack this, and then you have this tank that can move onto the forest and interrupt. But that'll also allow for Magician to go in with a join cap next turn, potentially still have some units alive over here, does guarantee him getting the port, potentially gets him very close to getting the headquarters. So, calculated risk in my opinion. Know what I'm saying? Calculated risk indeed. Another medium tank, Raipika. This is a man of many mediums. Many medium tanks, folks. And then Raipika leaves the base. He leaves the base because now there's 2 medium tanks in his face. And there's nothing he can do about it. He can't do anything against 2 medium tanks. It's too much. It's too much medium action over here, folks. Medium rare action. All right, join cap on the base as well. So the only way that you can actually stop this now, I believe, is if you use the full HP medium tank to attack. So now that medium tank is occupied because he's going to have to move. And he's not going to be able to interrupt. So this tank is going to have to attack something else. And then 7 HP is going to have to interrupt this. And then, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The only other thing you could do is if you get a power, this guy could move over here and attack. But I don't know. We'll see. I can't remember exactly what he does in this situation, but he does something. And it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. All right, let's see. See what occurs here. Alrighty. I have to check something real quick. All right. While we're doing this, let me just check one thing right quick. Because this game gets absolutely wild. Like, the sheer amount of medium tanks here is making me very happy. A very happy person when I see this many medium tanks. Okay, so I gotta do that. Click here. Also, I got a question for you, chat. In your opinion, who's going to win the tournament? In total, who do you think it's going to be? And why do you think it's going to be the Holy Polish Empire? Ah. I forgot to do that. And hopefully that saves. All right. Good enough. Alrighty, folks. Let's carry on here. So obviously, tank is forced to move. Infantry has to move right afterwards. Medium tank is forced to attack because it's the only thing that's going to be able to do enough damage to interrupt the capture. The medium tank moves up, interrupts the headquarters capture. And then we got another medium tank, folks. Raipika. Like, I swear this man knew that I was watching in and out here. Because every once in a while, I was popping in here, just seeing what was going on in this battle. And every single time I looked, there was another medium tank that was here. Just causing more havoc for Magician. But Magician's got 3 medium tanks of his own, so he's definitely no slouch when it comes to the medium action over here. Ooh, so attempts to block one of the medium tanks in, but unfortunately it just doesn't really work. So that can be definitely broken a little bit. So we'll see if it happens. Now, if it is broken and if Raipika pushes a little bit too far out of this position, it does essentially mean that he is doomed. So we might not want to be pushing out of this position too far. In my opinion, I don't know. We'll see. He can definitely attack that, uses the side slip, but does he go in with his medium tanks and attack Magician's medium tanks? He does. Magician does get his medium tank surrounded because unfortunately he wasn't able to get the KO on the 1 HP infantry there, which means that, yeah, it's definitely getting surrounded. Now the funny thing is this might not have been able to be surrounded if this black boat actually went here and guarded that tile, because then maybe the medium tank wouldn't have actually been surrounded this way. So simple black bow movement potentially could have stopped that entire surround. So small things to think about. You know what I mean, folks? Just little tiny things. Little tiny things that happen. All right, got some medium on medium tank violence over here. And the Forbidden City has been captured by Raipika also. But Raipika is 17,000 income, 23,000 income right now, so he's definitely hurting a little bit in the income game. Loses another infantry on the base. And then Magician pushes up. All the medium tanks are in dire combat right now. Alright, gets the interrupt over here. And Magician, unfortunately, has busted out the Sword of Abomination. The smelliest, shortest unit in the entire game, folks. And it's a smelly boy right there. Smelling up the place. Now, the Neo Tank does guarantee that you will get one-shots on these infantry on forests, which is very nice. But, oh my god, do they smell, folks. They do definitely smell something fierce. So make sure, folks, that when you are dealing with Neo Tanks, that you bust out some high-quality soap in order to wash that stink away, because it gets absolutely atrocious over here, folks. It is now day 16. Raipika with 16,900 funds manages to bust out a co-power, interrupts a capture, and then brings all of his units into the center of the map here. Bust out another medium tank. This man is not giving up. This man does not know the meaning of giving up when he's got this many medium tanks on the field. But unfortunately, his mortal enemy, the Neo Tank, is approaching his location here. And that's not what you want to see. You don't want the Neo Tank to be approaching your medium tanks. You want your medium tank to be slowly approaching the Neo Tanks. You don't want it the other way around. Alright, got some attacks over here. The medium tanks, man, they're just feeding. They're having a jolly old feast. And Raipika's making a very good move here. So he's shifting and he's moving down south. Because he's trying to stop Magician from doing something. Like, I don't know what he can do. Honestly, it's kind of, there's not really much he can do in this situation, but he's trying his best. And the base is definitely fallen. So at this point, this is definitely a Magician game. Because you cannot get any KOs here, which means Raipika is forced to resign. So beautiful stuff. Well played to Magician. He definitely showed the power of the classy boys. He went a little stinky at the end here, folks, but, you know, he managed to get the win regardless. But Raipika, you got to hand it to Raipika. This man played class action gameplay the entire way. And that's what it's all about, folks. He's also a decent fella, so, you know, be nice to him. Be nice to him indeed. So we got this game here. Charlie versus Silicon Squid. And we're on Fancy Meat Computer, which is a very volatile match. A very volatile map in general. Not too keen on this map personally. Excuse me, folks. You know what? Sometimes you feel like you're fighting off a sneeze. Sometimes you just gotta sometimes you just gotta do that. Anyways, so this is one of those maps which is very, very volatile, and combat happens extremely fast on this map. So we're gonna go Orange Star and a Green Earth for this one, folks. For no particular reason, but, you know, Silicon Squid is playing Jess, so we're going to do it that way. Anyways, we start off with the standard infantry builds, folks, obviously, because you got to get them on the field, folks. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Oh, now I got a super itchy nose. All right. So there's a couple ways that you can go about Fancy Meat Computer to give yourself an advantage. Now, one thing that you can do is you can prioritize getting air units out on the field first. So I believe that the income curve works very well so that you can get a battlecopter out first. And then you can send the battlecopter to attack the comm towers. And then you can send it to the center of the map to get some good map control. Now, you can do that if your opponent buys like a tank first. Definitely one of the things you can do. Another thing you could try to do is you can try to go for the 4 comm towers on the side and give yourself 140% or an extra 40% firepower boost. But personally, what I see happen more than not, or more often than not, I should say, is whoever goes center and gets the center first and grabs all that income is usually the winner of the game. Because if you can get to 14,000 income before your opponent gets there, then you just basically win because you can double tank every single day. And that's really the way it goes. If you can get double tank every single day, it's like you win. That's pretty much all it is. All right, so Silicon Squid decides to go Recon as his opener here. Double Recon as the opener, which is super curious. Now, the double Recon, it's crazy. It's an absolutely crazy move that will deny so much income. All right, Silicon Squid is now in position where he can buy a tank. So he's got the tank on the field, but these recons, oh my God, like look at these recons. They just move in. They just move in and just do whatever they want, folks. They don't even play by normal rules. They play by recon rules. And recon rules are dangerous. But Charlie, you know, he goes in for an attack, gets a double interrupt right here, which is very nice. But these recons, man. Oh my God, the recons. The recons! Look at them go. Attacks another infantry. Just sits on a property, and then Silicon Squid is in a position now where he can bust out a flippin' another tank. He's got 2 tanks on the field. So Charlie, he's got 2 tanks on the field too, but he doesn't have 2 recons. He ain't got 2 recons. Now the tanks are going to be in a position where they have to deal with the recons or the tanks. Now fortunately, one of those recons is gone right now. 2 comm towers are being acquired over here from Charlie. Absolutely lovely. It is possible that one of them might be denied by the tank, but why would you go in and do an attack like that? That would just be absolutely wild and crazy. Can it be denied? Yeah, it can. It would be wild and crazy to go in for a move like that, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? I think it would, personally. So he's not going to go for it. He's going to get that center control. Like I was saying, folks, you get the center control. You get all your units in the center, and then what is your opponent even supposed to do? Nothing. They can't do anything if you get center control. And these recons, holy moly, like, it's actually ridiculous how super strong those recons were because they denied Charlie so much income. Charlie's sitting at 10,000. Maybe we'll get 11,000 next turn. It's possible he's going to get 11,000. But he got denied so much. And Silicon Squid is at 14,000 now. He's at 14,000, folks. 14,000 income. It's not where you want to be. It's not the place that you want to be. Now, it is very nice that Charlie's got 2 comm towers, because he can do some damage with 2 comm towers. But the 14,000 income. The 14,000 income is just so strong. Now, let's see. Let's see what happens here. So he goes in. Charlie goes in. He doesn't attack. Silicon Squid counters. Now it's Charlie's move again. But look at the position from Silicon Squid. Right? Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this. So Charlie is about a 1262, which is very, very respectable. And then Silicon Squid is 1229. He's also the Quack Cup 4 Division 2 finalist champion winner, man. So this man has won a tournament. Squid Man, winner of tournaments. It was not a Squid Game. It was an actual tournament. But yeah, the position is so strong because Charlie can't attack. Like, there's nothing that Charlie can attack that doesn't get immediately and massively punished. And now Silicon Squid can just move his tanks in and then takes the exact same position but pushes his other tanks farther. Charlie busts out a battlecopter, which is nice. Anti-air immediately counters the battlecopter. And because this is such a small map, any potential damage that you do to your opponent will basically just be immediately countered with the reinforcements. Like, there's absolutely no wiggle room in this game. It's just big, constant brawls. That's all it is. It's just a huge, constant brawl. And then a turbocharge gets activated. And then the turbocharge is insane right now. Like, the amount of damage that the turbocharge is about to do is unreal. He even takes out that tank there too and gets the interrupt. Oh my god. It's like Silicon Squid, man. He definitely planned this one out a little bit. That's a lot of tanks on such a small map. But yeah, it's a lot of tanks in this fancy meat computer, that's for sure. Alrighty, and then Charlie pops the power, manages to get a few attacks here. Gets the old double on the low HP tank, but doesn't get a KO on it. Very unfortunate indeed. Very unfortunate indeed. And now, it's looking okay, you know, because Charlie, he's got 18 units now. This man is definitely ahead in units. But Silicon Squid still has 6 tanks on the field. And the value is the real important thing, folks. Like Silicon Squid, he's got 49,800 value right now. 65k to 35k unit value difference after the turbocharge. Exactly. That's a huge difference. Chevy, that's a huge difference right there. Like, that turbocharge hit like a flippin' brick truck. Truck made out of pure concrete is what happened. All right, day 13. Charlie. Another recon has entered the battlefield, folks. You know, we thought we were done with the recons, but no, they're back. And Charlie's out of time because he's been trying to figure out what to do in this situation, because there's so many tanks on the field. There's nowhere to put your units that's safe. There is not a single safe zone anywhere on this map because Jess has just infiltrated the center and is just taking it. She's taking it and she's not letting go of the center. Now Charlie uses the power. He does quite a bit of damage here because remember, Charlie's got 3 comm towers right now. That's a 130% firepower bonus normally, plus the 10% from the power. So he's dealing with like 140% firepower bonus right now. But he doesn't, it's just, firepower bonus is great. But fancy meat computer is won by income. Income is like the most important thing that you can possibly get on this battle. You know, it doesn't matter how many recons you buy, or how many recons you buy and how many of them get destroyed. If they deny your opponent from getting to the 14,000 fun threshold and you get there, that's just it. Yeah, there's not much you can do with 1 HP units. Alright, Charlie's out of time once again. Silicon Squid moves in. And unfortunately, he left too many things hanging there. No time. And Silicon Squid wins. He didn't even get to use the super co-power too, which is very unfortunate. Because Overdrive is one of the best co-powers in this game, hands down. I love Overdrive, it's so good. But yeah, that game, like these recons, man. These recons right here. These 2 recons that Silicon Squid busted out here. If the game will ever actually catch up here. The fact that they injured these 2 infantry, and then this recon again injured a 3rd infantry. It was taken down to 3, and then it was finally destroyed. Like the recon basically denied 3 captures from happening. It's too much. Too much. Well played to Silicon Squid for that one. Well played, Charlie. He did everything he could possibly do. Did everything he could do. Good game. Good game. Alrighty. So the next game that we have here is between 2 buddies of mine, actually, Mr. Bogeus and Mr. Banjoy. So let's take a look at Bogeus first here. For those of you that don't know, Bogeus has recently actually started creating some content over on the YouTube. And he's no longer one of the semi-original guys. He's actually his own entity now. So people will stop thinking that Bogeus is actually me and now know that Bogeus is a Bogeus. Currently rated 1328 overall in the Global League, so very nice. He's up against Banjoy, another buddy of mine. I like Banjoy, he's a very good guy. Currently rated 1278, but I think his overall rating was very high at one point, like 1400 or something. He's not there anymore, but he was there at some point. Yeah, 1467 was like his highest rating overall. So he's a pretty good, pretty overall like strong player indeed. 3K income difference due to that recon. Yeah, like the recon was just insane, man. It's too strong of a recon. Strong's recon and advances by Web. Alright, so alrighty, folks, we are fighting over here in the Kokiri Forest, I believe. Yes, Kokiri Forest is where we are fighting today. We got Bogeus versus Banjoey in a Olaf versus Max battle. And for those of you that may be living under a rock or don't know, Olaf and Max have got some history. For those of you that know, Olaf tried to invade the Orange Star Army a long time ago, forcing Max, Andy, and Sonia, or Sammy, Max, Andy, and Sammy, to fight him off, and then eventually uncover the plot that it was Sturm controlling him the entire time, manipulating his actions into thinking that Orange Star was the enemy, when the real enemy was within the Black Hole Army. So anyways, Olaf and Max, they got some history. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Anyways, we're also going to switch these guys because we're not going to do that. This is what we're going to do. Alrighty, folks. So this should be a good one. Now, I like Kokiri Forest. It's a very terrain-heavy map, a very interesting map. Kind of hard to really plot out like a course of action on this map. Now, usually what I like to do here is I like to go play Max, get myself an airport, get myself a couple properties, and just start spamming battlecopters and get the battlecopters on the field, folks. It's like the number 4 priority in Advancers by Web is start spamming battlecopters. That's what it's all about. Alright, so both players have moved the black boat off of the laboratory and are now going to be using it to boost some infantry. Now, if you see your opponent do this, it is almost essential that you also mirror the move. Otherwise, your opponent is going to be able to snag one of these center properties, and you're not going to be able to get it. So Banjoey uses 2 infantry, actually, instead of just 1, which is very nice. Very nice. So now he's putting a threat on both of the center properties, whereas Bogeus is only going to be able to threaten one of them. Now, there is the potential of an interrupt here. So if Bogeus decides, he could forego this capture and move over here onto the road and attack the capping infantry right here, denying the property but losing the infantry in response. That's a possibility. That's a thing that he could do. Whether or not he's actually going to do it is another story altogether. So we'll see what he decides to do. Either way, very strong position, very strong move from Banjoey. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Alright, so Bogeus has decided to forego his own capture and uses his infantry to interrupt the capping infantry in the center, which will also allow him to use a second infantry to interrupt once again. Now, curiously enough, he attacks from the forest. Now, I can only assume that he attacks from the forest because he intends to use the black boat to heal up its infantry. That's really the only reason that I would see to go in and attack from there. And there it is. But he doesn't have any money, which is the funny thing. He's got no money in order to do it. So he should have just attacked from the silo. Silo would have been a better spot to attack from. But, you know, it was all part of his plan, I guess. Another tank on the field over here from Banjoey, a man of many tanks. So this is actually very curious too, because the 6 HP will not be able to do enough damage to this capping infantry, I believe, in order to stop the capture. Nope, it will not be able to do enough. So the only way to actually completely deny this property is to forego the capture a second time and go in and attack. Funny stuff. Which is what he does. Which is what he does anyway, so there you go. Alrighty. Look at this guy. Look at this Bogeus guy just doing his wild, wacky plays. Crazy Bogeus over here, just being all wild and wacky. You love to see it. Alrighty. A capture has occurred. Banjoey has acquired a property. Now, the funny thing is, the only way that he actually acquired the property was because Bogeus didn't have enough funds left over to heal his infantry. Now, if he attacked from the silo, it's potentially the infantry might have only went down to 8, which would have actually left him with enough hit points to probably get the full intro. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows, folks? It's just the way it goes sometimes. It's the way that Advanced Wars by Web live games go. Sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. Alrighty. Let's see what happens here. Boom, got a big old hit. Big old hit over here, and got another hit right there. So using the 4 HP infantry to do a little bit of damage against the fresh infantry is kind of funny in my opinion, because it just gets healed up by the black bow. But the other thing about it is, if Banjoey wants to heal up that infantry with the black bow, which would seem like almost a reactionary thing to do, it will actually ruin his build order, because he's in a position right now where he's got 15,000 funds, so he can buy the double tank and infantry right now and buy something out of every single one of his bases. Or if he accidentally forgets and heals, he can't do that. He'll only be able to buy the double tank, or potentially might be able to, you know, buy like a recon tank combination, something like that. Yeah. Black Boat heal prevented Bogeus from building a tank last turn. Did it? That's funny. What a guy. Wacky, crazy play Bogeus over here. Alright. I love Bogeus though. He's a good guy. Alrighty. Boom, 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 boom. Anti-air has entered the fray because a battlecopter has also entered the battlefield here. Bogeus. So let's see what he decides to do. He sends the battlecopter forward. He does an attack with his tank, allowing his tank to be attacked. Very curious indeed. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually very safe, because there's really no way that Banjoey throws away a tank to attack this tank when it can be attacked by the battlecopter and a tank next turn. It's not something that's going to happen. So it's very safe. In my opinion, it's very safe. Super safe. Alright, another tank on the field, another infantry. So Banjoey, once again, taking control of this battlefield, getting the capture, going in, taking some engagements. Ooh, interrupting here with the 8-6 attack, and then, oh, very flippin' interesting. Alright, so he goes in and takes the attack anyways. He goes in and takes the attack anyways. Is there something I'm missing here? Battlecopter can go in and attack here. This can retreat over here and get heals. So that'll do some damage. Essentially, you're just trading out the tanks damage-wise. If he goes in there, so then he can move here. He can move here. Is there a way to surround the battlecopter? Because infantry can go here, get the KO. This can wrap around and sit here. This could sit here, but there's probably going to be 2 infantry in position to get a KO here. So I don't think that the battlecopter can be surrounded in this position. So I feel like it's okay to go in and take the attack. Maybe. Maybe he can trap the copter? Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but if he, like I said, if he moves the copter here, you move here, you move here, you get those 2 tiles surrounded. You wouldn't have this tile surrounded. You would move here. So this tile wouldn't be surrounded. You would have to forego your own capture to go here, and then go here. But yeah, I could just see I could see Bogeus just putting infantry onto mountain and infantry over here, and then it putting an infantry right here, which should be able to secure an escape route here. But you would also have to forego the capture just in order to get the surround. So I don't know. I don't really see him going in for it. If anything, he might go in for like maybe an attack on the infantry and just take out the infantry. I think that could be a possibility for sure. That's really the only safe move that he has here. Because you don't want to overplay your hand a little bit and maybe potentially accidentally walk into like a max force or something too. I don't know. Either way, let's see what Bogeus decides to do here. Alright, so he goes in. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe because he's even got the tank there. Alright. Goes in and takes the engagement over here. So Battlecopter has to escape down south if it wants to escape now. And Banjoy's got his own Battlecopter up north now. I've been super hyper-focused on the southern part of this map. I haven't really looked up north in the last little while, but yeah. So Battlecopter's up here, tanks up here. Gonna be acquiring the corner properties here very, very soon. Got the interrupt over here. It's looking good. It's looking tight. Alright, Olaf taking control of the battle once again. Gonna be eliminating a few units here. Easy peasy. And these landers, man. These landers do work on this map. It's like the landers just never stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Alright, day 11 over here. Banjo manages to get a capture. Is now sitting at 19,000 income. Like, this man is swimming in cash right now. And the best part about it for Mr. Banjo is he's still got 2 captures that he needs to get. He needs to get the top corner and the bottom corner right now. Now, I remember when I was doing some prep on this map, one of the things that I tried was I tried doing like, you know, I tried doing a couple strategies. One strategy was I delayed the captures in the corner so that I could pressure the front more. And one, I went for them right away. Now, I think the one where I delayed the corners had a little bit more success for me. But, I mean, to each their own. Any way that you do it can potentially work out. But if you can manage to get those forward caps a little bit sooner and hold on to them, you tend to get a little bit more income. Alright, Olaf playing it safe. He's not pushing in, but he is trying to grab some properties. So he's luring Banjoy in right now. He wants Banjoy to go in and interrupt these captures. He wants to do it so that he can break up Banjoy's line and make him weak. That's what he wants. He wants Banjoy to be weak. But is Banjoy just going to allow himself to be weak? No. This man is not a weak man. He's a strong man. Big, strong biceps. Max biceps. That's the way it's all. That's the way it is, folks. All right, day 13. Attacking an infantry on a mountain. From a road. From a bridge. Nice. That's what it's all about. It's all about attacking infantry on mountains from bridges. Oh, we're gonna double tap it. All right. Ooh, another attack on an infantry. It's not bad. So this is not necessarily like the worst strategy, like attacking infantry here. Now, one thing that it does is if you can eliminate your opponent's infantry, it does 2 things for you. So one thing it does for you is it stops your opponent from being able to capture properties, which is fantastic. The other thing it does is it also forces your opponent to have to use vehicles in order to interrupt you capping properties, which puts them in a vulnerable state, allowing you to jump on their units and just completely obliterate them, which is a fantastic thing. It's definitely what you want to have happen. All right. Bogeus is also playing very, very passively because he does not want to play into Banjoy's co-power right now. The fact that Banjoey is holding on to this max force is incredibly dangerous. It's one of the most powerful things about a max is the flippin' max medium tank, folks. The one that has just appeared on the battlefield, the classiest of all the units. Olaf attacked with infantry but pulled back his vehicles. Yeah, so I mean, my thought about it is he's trying to do the thing that I just said. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah. I don't know. Anyways, not important. Yeah, so he attacks with the infantry and then backs up the vehicles. But he doesn't want to play into Banjo's co-power range because it's very dangerous to play into the co-power range. But, yeah. The other thing is Bogeus has a lot of fresh infantry in the area. So he can start doing those captures. And then that'll force Banjoy to respond with vehicles. Which potentially will allow Bogeus to jump on his vehicles that are going to interrupt his infantry that are capping. That's a possibility. It's one of my thoughts about the entire thing. What up, Marco Maps? Welcome to the stream, friend. Welcome to the stream. I am going to be playing some Wargroove again, Marco Maps. I was going to play it last week. I had it all set up and everything. But the problem is last week, I caught the nastiest flu that I've had in like a year, or no, in like, I'm gonna say years actually. I ended up losing about 6 pounds on the flu. So I'll leave you with that. But I was not well, so I was not able to stream. But we are gonna be doing some flipping Wargroove very, very soon. So don't you worry about that. Alright, so Bogeus has decided to push up the tanks. The tanks are being pushed up here, folks. It is absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely indeed. He is prepping. Now, the reason why he feels confident pushing the tanks up is now he actually has more tanks than Banjoey in the area. Yeah, it was about 6 pounds, and it was basically all water, man. It was something. I kept about 3 of them off too. Oh yeah, folks, for those of you that don't know, because I haven't really mentioned it, one of the reasons why I haven't been putting out too much content lately is I've been trying to get healthy and get fit and lose a bunch of weight. For those of you that may have noticed, my face is actually a lot thinner than it has been in the last little while. Specifically because I've lost a grand total of close to just over 20 pounds so far. So I still got a long way to go. But we're doing it, folks. We're getting it done. Okay? We're getting it done. We're going to be lean, mean, classy machine very, very soon. All right. So carrying on with the battle here. It is now Banjoey's turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks plus 2 anti-air plus a tank on the way right now versus a tank or versus a battlecopter and triple tank. Now on the other hand, you got 4 tanks down here against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 2 anti-air. So it's basically kind of like a split thing, you know, which is what you would expect from this sort of a battle, right? You got 2 bases versus 1 base. It's exactly what you would expect. So let's see what Banjoey does. He pops the power. Lean is the new classy. That's right. All right. I mean, you can be classy at any size. It's all good. As long as you wear a nice little uniform, you know? You know what I'm saying? Gotta get the top hat out. Okay, this is a bold move because, well, it's not necessarily too bold. It's actually just, like, decent. But Banjoey is feeling super confident about his move. He's feeling so confident that he goes in with the anti-air to strike a tank during co-power. Like, it's absolutely wonderful. All right, here we go. Anti-air's attacking tanks is one of my favorite things to see in Advanced Wars by Web also. All right. And very, very interesting awareness from Banjoey right now is he actually puts an infantry in the black boat for the super co-power turn. But that black boat could be attacked by this tank, so that would make it so you lose the black boat and the infantry. So there's that. That is kind of a little bit of a dangerous move. but it's not like the most dangerous move. But we'll see. I'm very curious because I don't know if Bogeus is going to go in and do that move or not. Personally, if it was me, I would go in and just snipe that man out of existence right now. Infantry resting in the black boats for the winter. Yeah, Chevy, he's waiting there, but he has absolutely no idea that there's a tank in range to hit it. And with the Winter Fury right now, I mean, you can go in and take that engagement, and it's probably going to be fine for you. Because Banjo's got power right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know. It might not be worth it, but I don't know. I would be so tempted to go in and just do it. So I would probably just do it. Yeah, he's gonna do it. Like, you know, it's like he was feeling so safe. It's like, come in here. We got warm treats and soft beds and lots of lemons for you. And he's like, oh, and then he's just sitting there sucking on a lemon, and all of a sudden, ba-boom! Taken out. A lemon in his face. He had one of those lemon smiles, and now he's just not here anymore. Very, very unfortunate. Oh, was it lemons or is it limes? Limey boys? I think it was either or. Vitamin C on those long sea journeys. However you get your vitamin C, you need it because you don't want the scurvy. Alright. Banjoey pushes the medium tank forward. That's what you gotta do. Get the medium tank up there. He needs to feed. Yeah, you didn't even get to see Spring. That's very unfortunate. But yes, medium tank, it's time to feed. Get up there and get the damage done. Let's see it happen. Boom! Another attack over here from Bogeus. Bogeus has had enough of this max bullion. He's sending in the tonks. Sending him in. Oh, and now he's attacking a tank with an anti-air. Beautiful. I don't know how I feel about it, though, because that anti-air is the only thing standing between him and a battlecopter. And there's a tank in position to attack the anti-air. And it's probably going to attack the anti-air, like, without a doubt. It's probably moving in, right? Yeah, there it is. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. In one move. One attack. One shot. One opportunity. It's been taken out, folks. Rest in peace, anti-air. You did your best. Now, the other funny thing here is Banjoey has actually gotten to a point where he's managed to essentially lock the airport with a 6 HP anti-air. You know, it's not necessarily the best unit to lock the airport with, but it's not the worst. And Bogeus has decided to resign at that point. Now, Bogeus played like a very, very strong game, in my opinion. He played a little bit too passively over here. I think maybe needed to be a little bit more aggressive, but it's hard to put yourself in an aggressive state when you're staring down a max power. And Banjoey just pounds so hard over here. Like, Max, man. Max was just, he's a tough boy. He is a tough boy with 2 Fs. Strong lad. Well played to both of these players. Alright, so this is probably... Oof. This is probably one of my favorite games that has happened so far. The Azrael versus the Vilfort game. This game gets wild, man. This game gets wild. I'm not even going to spoil anything. It's just, oh my god, it gets flipping wild. It's going to be great. Watch this. And you know what? I love Azrael. Azrael is like one of my favorite Advance Wars people. Mostly because, you know, he used to be about as strong as me. And now he's like way stronger than me. So, you know, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I could have been an Azrael if I actually just stayed in the Global League and kept playing. But anyways, it is what it is. So Vilfort over here is 1097 in the Global League, but don't let that what am I thinking? Don't let that influence you, I suppose. Now, Vilfort, when it comes to the Live League, he is like rated one of the top players, like top, I'm gonna say like maybe even like top 10. He's super strong live player. He just doesn't play Global League anymore. Also, Marco Maps, hopefully you are enjoying that classy Yellow Comet medium tank right beside your name. All members now get medium tanks beside their name, and every single medium tank is a different color. Alrighty, folks. So we got ourselves a Azrael versus a Vilfort game, a Sammy versus Kindle. That's what we got here, folks. So let's see what happens in this game. Vilfort going in for the old Caparino. Gonna be kitting a Caparino here, and then flipping Azrael. The Azrael. He forgoes a capture, and he's just pushing his infantry forward. Like, what could this man be thinking? What is he thinking about over here? He's plotting. He's plotting, and I don't like what he's plotting. Yeah, exactly, Chevy. Exactly. He's plotting an HQ cheese. And the funny thing about this is if Vilfort captures this property, he loses the game automatically. Because if he caps this property, infantry moves here, he moves here, infantry moves onto headquarters, begins capture. You can't do enough damage to it to interrupt the capture. So automatic lose if Vilfort does not have the awareness to realize that he needs to move his infantry off of this city right now. And he does. Vilfort, my man, this man understands the assignment, and he's like, oh wait, I'm about to lose, so I like have to move right now, otherwise I lose. Understandable. Now this puts Sammy in a very, very interesting position, because she foregoed a lot of properties in order to do this HQ cheese strat. But now she's going to be getting a lot of forward properties, and especially this one. This is like a big one that she's going to be able to grab right now. Because there's actually nothing that Vilfort can do. Like, he can attack, interrupt, but Sammy still gets the property. Now, luckily, it was a 6-7 trade here, which is okay. So that at least means that there's no potential for the HQ cap now. For now. Sammy busts out a tank. Got a tank on the field. And this is incredibly annoying for Vilfort, because Vilfort is now very, very behind on getting units to the middle of the battlefield here, and Sammy is going to be able to start flooding the center because she's already got the infantry in the center of the map. So let's see what happens here. So Azrael goes in, gets a few more caps, interrupts the capture, double interrupts the capture, denies the income, and now brings the tank into the center. Beautiful strat over here from Mr. Azrael. Vilfort, though, you know, he doesn't care if the strat is beautiful or if it's working. The only thing that flipping Vilfort knows is destruction. And that is what he's going to be doing. The only thing that Kindle cares about is crushing the peasants. Boom, another infantry gone. 2 more caps are being acquired here, and then the tank takes a position in the center of the battlefield, which I'm kind of not for. Like, I don't really like the tank in the center. Sammy doesn't really have a lot of firepower, really, you know, to deal with it. But either way, yeah, there has been a mech buy also, which is I don't know. I don't really know what the mech's all about. But let's see if the mech actually plays a role or gets anything done. Either way, we got a mech. So, right now, technically, the mech is guarding the tank. So, this tank can't go up and take an attack here, otherwise it's going to be taking a mech hit. So, there's possibly that. Maybe that's what Vilfort's idea was the entire time. Possibly. But we'll see. Alright, Azrael's got some income here. He's got 14,000 income, 15,000 income right now. And has started some more caps. So 1, 2, 3. 3 more caps are going to be acquired by him. So that's going to put him at 18. So Vilfort's 12, 14, 15 potentially next turn. So it's going to be an 18-15 game, which is heavily in the favor of Sammy. But the position is kind of evening out a little bit here. Vilfort's got the battlecopter on the field right now. Azrael pushing in a little bit further, getting a few more caps. Definitely going to be getting that 18. Yeah, they got the 18 threshold right now. What is with that? That's very curious, actually. I'm not sure why this tank is here. That allows a mech to move in and attack. That's actually a very odd move. I'm not sure what the idea here is. Now, maybe the idea is if mech moves into attack, tank pounces, takes out mech, leaves his front completely obliterated, essentially, allowing for Azrael to go for an easy base cap. I think that might be the plan, but it doesn't really stop Vilfort from just buying a tank and just like continuing the attacks down here. But either way, yeah, it seems like easy mech value to me, for sure. So mech got some value here, folks. It got some value. Now, does this tank cover? So this tank doesn't cover entirely. It covers partially. Another tank moving right here, though. Once again, that puts the tank in range of 2 tanks. So there's a lot of self-sacrificing moves that are going on. I can only assume that maybe Azrael, like what Azrael might be thinking is just usher in all these engagements for charge so that you can push a victory march out quicker. That could be the idea. I'm not sure if that is the idea. But a lot of the attacks seem, a lot of the placements seem kind of odd. I mean, it is, at least this tank here is guarded by the medium tank, which can be guarded by an anti-air next turn too. But Kindle is just going to occupy the cities. That's really all she's going to do here. Kindle's going to get a flip as well, which is going to put this at a 21 to 20 game. 21 to 20. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty nice for Kindle. You know, Vilfort's been behind on income here for quite a bit, but it looks like it is about to level out a little bit. Once again, putting tanks on roads, though. I'm very curious about the tanks on the roads. All right, let's see. Now, it is possible that maybe what he's doing is he just wants to be far away from cities so that Kindle can't use the cities against him. But that seems like a lot of attacks. That's a lot of attacks that just happen. Many, many attacks. Many, many, many an attack. Day 12. Azrael gets a capture, attacks the battlecopter, doesn't do a lot of damage. And actually, I'm not really a fan of where he attacked with the battlecopter. I think battlecopter should have attacked from mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should have attacked from the mountain, because now this battlecopter is going to be able to loop around, sit on the city, and then attack and get the firepower bonus. Probably take out the battlecopter, but Yeah, once again, like, it is definitely possible that Azrael is just playing that Victory March game, and he's just waiting to get the Victory March out as quickly as possible so that he can just jump on as many cities as he can so that he can just completely win income game. It's definitely possibly what he's doing. But I don't know. We'll see. There's going to be 3 more tanks that are gone here. Oh, so he doesn't go in. I don't agree with not taking out the tanks. I think he should have just taken out the tanks. Oh, why didn't he go in and attack from here, though? He could have taken out this this battlecopter entirely, because I'm fairly certain that this from a city, it does a lot of damage. Like, this from a city would have been able to basically eliminate it. Then you remove this infantry and get the elimination. I mean, it's sitting at 3 hit points, so it's not really going to be doing a lot of damage right now, but it's doing some damage right now. Also, the anti-air is trapped by the flippin' 4 HP 4 HP infantry, so it actually can't get to the front lines to attack the battlecopters right now. Oh, it takes more counter damage, the battlecopter, than it did for actual damage. Alright, so we got a Victory March. Very interesting Victory March. What do we get for the Victory March? So there's some things that we get. So that's a property. So we get that. We get the comm tower, and we get 2 flips over here. And we get this flip right here, which is pretty nice. I don't think we do enough damage with this infantry to get a KO here. So that's about it. Oh, and okay, so that's nice. So managed to escape from infantry jail. But then we don't get the comm tower, which is kind of annoying. Oh, we do get the KO with that infantry, but do we have enough? Is there? Oh, there's not enough movement. Oh, it's unfortunate. Not enough movement. Anyways, so that was a pretty big turn. Sammy is now sitting at 27,000 income versus 18. And yeah, Chevy, you're correct. It frees up the anti-air, which was actually very nice. Very nice. Because if we didn't do that, we might have had ourselves a little bit of a problem. But 27,000 to 18,000 income is huge. So right now, what Azrael needs to do is he has to play the income advantage so hard. This man needs to start busting out every single big flipping unit in the game. Now, unfortunately, I'm not an advocate of the Neo tanks, folks, but when you're dealing with Sammy, she needs some firepower. So you might be needing some high quality soap. That's all I'm saying. Now, you can also just start busting out medium tanks all the time. Or you can go a little bit differently and get some flipping big, awesome bombers. Get some big bombers on the field. It's also what you could do. Bombers, fighters. Either way, we need some stuff on the field. That's what I'm saying. So get it. Get the stuff. Alright. Some more KOs here. Infantry moving in position. Takes out an anti-air. And is threatening another cap. There's another cap that is being threatened. And Azrael is out of time. So this man is like on borrowed time right now. He's going to be desperately trying to think of some plays. And gets an urban blight. He blights it, folks. 8 HP tank on a city versus a full HP tank on a road. Almost gets the KO. Gets the KO. Double tapped right there. Moves in with some more. And then Azrael busts out a Solar Abomination also. He's definitely going to be requiring some soap to wash the stink away. But he's got some firepower right now. More anti-air are needed over on the eastern front, because there is 4 battlecopters right now. That is far too many battlecopters. And there's a flip that is happening right now. Oh no, why didn't we go down and secure our income? Ooh. If I was Azrael, I would have actually just gone down here and attacked this, because I don't want him to get that income. I don't. I want to hold on to the income as long as I possibly can. All right, 2 grand left in the bank. Azrael's banking a little bit of time here, folks. He's banking it. He's got 45 seconds left on the clock. It's a lot more than what he's been at right now, so that's pretty good. Vilford is getting 2 flips right now, because as good as the Victory March was, it was not sustainable to hold on to all those properties. So Vilford's about to get a triple flip right now, which is very big. Could interrupt 1, or I guess we could interrupt 2 of the properties. 1, 2. But if you go in and interrupt any of these properties right now, you got a problem. You also have a little bit of a different problem too, folks. Got a 1 HP infantry over here in the middle of the map. We got flipping little James Bond over here, thinking that he's like hot doo-doo over here. And he can essentially just go right here and sit on this. And that's an incredibly dangerous spot for this infantry to be. Now, one reason, and one reason only, for why this infantry is the most dangerous infantry in Advances by Web right now. Yeah, Azrael is not looking too hot right now, folks, but he's got this one saving grace here. This infantry is sitting right here in a perfectly safe location, and we are only 33k away from a victory march. We got 67,000 army value left. What do we do in this situation, folks? We make a mad dash for the flipping HQ. That's all that we gotta do here, folks. So sacrifice everything that you flipping got and send it. Absolutely send it. Don't even worry about the capture. Just go in and attack the flipping anti-air or the battlecopter. Like right, oh, you can't attack it. Okay, whatever. Attack the infantry. Lure him into a false sense of security. Alright. So Vilfort, he knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows in this situation what is happening. I'm pretty sure when this match was going on live, chat was just screaming. They were like, James Bond! He's coming! You gotta stop him! At least that was me. I don't know about anybody else, but I was screaming in my mind. So Vilfort knows it, so he's not going to be attacking anything. No, why would you attack anything in this situation? You don't. You don't attack anything in this situation. No, it's not what you do. All right, so yeah, right now, Chevy, like I said, it's all about charge. So just yeet everything for charge. What do you need? You need 30k, blah, blah, 26, 27k. So you sack this into this. You sack this into a battlecopter. You sack your battlecopter into this. And then you try to do some damage. But I don't think there is actually enough charge on this map. Now, technically, if Vilfort had attacked this, that would have pushed Sammy to closer to 70,000, which would have meant only 15,000. But unfortunately, there's not enough. There's not enough on the battlefield right now to really go in for the victory march. So, unfortunately for Azrael, he was unable to do it. And the second thing, the literal second thing that Vilfort does is go up and attack the infantry. Because, yeah, you don't want the James Bond to just be sitting there. Because now victory march is actually 100% confirmed and online. And then Vilfort just stops it because he's not going to just allow that to happen. Now at this point, not really a whole lot that you can do. because Vilfort's got 2 classy mutant tanks on the field. 22,000 to 24,000. And then essentially, I'm pretty sure this one just kind of just slowly goes on for a little while. Yeah, and even with the other victory march, no, there isn't even another victory march. That's it. So, I don't know. You know what? There's a little bit more yeeting and attacking that goes on in this game, but essentially, once this push was done, that was it. So, Azrael, he gets some flips. He gets back to 25. There's 10 days left. His army value is 77,000 to 126,000. Vilfort's about to get this flip. He's about to get this flip. He's going to flip the comm tower. Going to flip the property. The Neo tank has been destroyed. Essentially. It's just, at this point, it's just over. It's just over. That's all it is. Well played to Azrael. He did his best. Tried to do some sneaky HQ tactics. But unfortunately, Vilfort is too strong. He caught wind of it, and he stopped it from happening. So well played. Well played indeed. The final match here, folks. The final match of the evening. We have our leader, Lord Poland himself, versus Hunch. Strongest Hunch in Advanced by Web. These are the players that we have here. Now, as you can see, Poland is rated 1,663 in the Global League. Very strong player. Very strong Poland indeed. Hunch is rated 1,634 in the Global League. So, very strong Hunch. Actually, it's very cool because Hunch is... Well, I don't know how relatively new he actually is because he's been around for a little while now. But... he's like relatively newish, and he's managed to get to that level of play. So very, very good for Mr. Hunch. Very strong indeed. Strongest Hunch in Advanced by Web, folks. But he's up against Poland here today. Poland, strong lad. So let's see how this one works out. We got Cole versus Adder. And the map that we are playing on today is called Lunatic. This is one of the maps that I hate playing on. It's one of my least favorite maps to play on. Actually, that's not even true. I don't even mind this map. It's just a tricky map, you know? It's a tricky map. So let's see how it goes. Double infantry, standard infantry builds. Because you got to get them on the field. Alright, Poland busts out his infantry, sending them forward. Hunch sending his infantry forward. And a couple of infantry back. Gonna be getting that old airport. Getting an airport acquired here, folks. Gotta be getting it. Here we go. Now, a lot of people have been saying that on this map... Hey, Schwartz, welcome to the stream. And also, welcome there. A lot of people have been saying, a lot of the higher level people have been saying, they've been saying that player 2 is better on this map. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just some hearsay that I've been hearing. It's been the whispers in the shadows. Whispers in the back lane when you're walking down the road at night. You walk past the back lane and somebody's like, oh man, they've got it clear too. You are just so strong. Oh my god. Anyways, take that at face value. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's just what I've been hearing, folks. What I've been hearing. But anyways, let's see what happens here. Now, I think Cole is a very fun pick for this map. Now, specifically, I think Cole is a super fun pick because he's really good on attacking on this map. There's a lot of road tiles here that can really, really benefit Cole when he's pushing up into the territories of the HQ region. So I want to see if it's going to play out for him. Let's see if we're going to get some beneficial moves here. We've got a 7-7 trade from Poland. Not the best trade. Kind of unlucky, if I might say so myself. So let's see what happens here. Double infantry moving up. Another infantry moving up. Tank moving up. Double tank by over here from the Hunchinator. You'll love to see it, folks. Poland, he's only got one tank on the field, but that is going to be changing here right about now. You can guarantee that he is not buying a tank. He buys a battlecopter. This man is still a single tank kind of guy. He's not a double tank kind of guy, folks. He's a single tank, single battlecopter, and a single win kind of guy. That's what he wants to do. He wants to get that win here today. Very curious, too, because Hunch, a lot of people would probably consider just moving this tank up here to deal with this threat. Hunch doesn't think that way. He doesn't consider that to be a threat at the moment, which is kind of interesting to me, because this tank could move here and attack, because he can move right through his own black boat and attack. Now, Poland goes in and does that move. Hunch will pounce on him and get the attack here. And Battlecopter cannot reinforce because now there's an anti-air. So, yeah, that can't happen. And it won't happen. But now that this tank is over here, it's going to force Poland to have to respond. Like, Poland has to build a tank out of this position next turn, otherwise these infantry start getting picked on. And he might potentially lose these properties if the tank gets any closer. And if he doesn't lose these properties, he might start getting bullied down here. So we don't want that to happen. Do. We gotta fix this. We want reboot camp themes too. I love the reboot camp themes. Some of the reboot camp themes are like super good. One of my favorite things about the reboot camp is the music. So yeah, we gotta be getting some of those on the field. Get them on the field. All right. Tank double infantry. Let's flip and go. Do. Hunch. Sends the tank forward to attack a tank. This man is a menace. It's an absolute menace to society going in for moves like this. Who goes in for a move like this, folks? It's absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd indeed. Hopefully our Lord Poland will be able to pounce upon such a move and just completely punish it, which he does a little bit. He manages to punish it slightly here, which is very nice. It's definitely what you want to be seeing. Punishment. Divine punishment. All right, Battlecopter swings down south, which is super nice. You love to see it. Now, Poland's gone in for a little bit of a brawl here. He gets some of his properties interrupted. Anti-air swings up north. Another tank swinging up north now. The other tank goes down to retreat. Double tank up north now. Super concerning. We got to be getting some tanks over there. Without a doubt, because, oh my god, it's getting absolutely dangerous. Alright. The other thing about this, too, is we're dealing with movement COs. So every single one of these COs, or every single one of these units can potentially get increased movement at any point. Now, we're not going to be getting increased movement on Hunch as Cole anytime soon, because he needs to fill 2 bars. That's about 18k. 17k, actually. But yeah, it's something that we're going to have to worry about later on. And it's not even that much more later on, because Poland's only about 9k away right now from getting to power. So, ooh, that's a nice little strike right here. Hunch will be buying a battlecopter this turn. Yup. Because, yeah, you can't just allow an attack like that to happen without getting a reinforcement for it. But tactically, Poland could move in with his battlecopter, attack the 9 HP battlecopter, move his tank back to get some heals, and then bring in his anti-air to safeguard the battle, or safeguard his own battlecopter from an additional hit. So I think that might be what we're going to be seeing here, because we can move it there. Yeah, it would be fairly safe to go in for that attack, I think, because you can even go battlecopter, and then you can go infantry to guarantee the KO as well. I think, like, it would work. It would work, right? Why wouldn't it work? It's probably going to work. Let's see if Poland goes in for it. I'm hoping he does. Okay, he's going in for it. Oh, takes it to 2. Activates the side slip. Oh, we're side slipping over here, folks. Alrighty then, let's see it happen. Oh, and he goes in for an additional infantry attack and a second additional infantry attack. That is what I'm talking about over here. And up north, we got an infantry attack. We got a flipping interrupt. We got a double interrupt. We got a tank moving in. Oh my god, triple interrupt. That's what I'm talking about. Holy moly. Nice little use of the side slippies. Nice use of the side slippies. And then, in addition to, because Poland is actually a very smart player, he moves the tank here onto the plains. Now, some people might be wondering, Sammy, why wouldn't you just, you know, get like maximum movement out of your tank and move them all the way over here? Well, the reason is because this tank will not have this movement next turn, so it won't be able to cover, so it needs to sit right here so that it has coverage. So you can't get the full movement. It's just, it's not worth it, so you don't go in for it. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button and now everything's moving all willy-nilly. Alright, so we're gonna go back here. So Hunch, the Hunchinator, strongest Hunchin in AWBW, folks. He decides to activate a forced march, forcing his little men to march all over the place. Well, let's see them do it, folks. Gets a double, gets another double, gets the KO. Tank moves in, takes out the 6 HP tank. Very unfortunate for the 6 HP tank. He was not expecting it. He's not expecting it at all. Or maybe he was, I don't know. Now, one of the reasons why I was thinking that Poland probably should have attacked up here was because of this reason right here. So now the battlecopter is essentially safe, because you can't really get to it now because there's too much stuff in the way. But if the battlecopter attacked from here or wherever the tile was, then you probably would have been able to get to the stuff. But hey, that's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. Another battlecopter is sent to the field over here from the Hunch. Then we got another tank on the field, another infantry. That will do, folks. That will do. Poland moves in with his tank, eliminates an infantry. It double taps that man right there. Goes in for a single, eliminates the tank, gets a heal on the infantry, brings another tank forward, gets another hit on an infantry, eliminates the infantry on the mountain. Battlecopter moving in, doing some damage, attacks the recon, probably going to be occupying the terrain. Yep, he's occupying the terrain, folks. Brings in another tank. And technically, this is a strong side, right? So this base right here could potentially be fighting 3 bases and an airport, or 2 bases and an airport. This base and this airport are strictly for over here. But this is looking okay. So this is basically forcing Hunch into a constant stream of battlecopters right now, which are going to eat away his funds. And now that the anti-air is in position, I think we can get a pretty big hit on a battlecopter, even if this tank moves in and attacks it, because it's not going to do enough damage to really prevent the anti-air from being super effective. It will do some damage, though. Some damage, just not like a major amount of damage. Now, is a tank going to go up and hit the anti-air? Yep. Does 5 damage. So 5 damage is good. Hunch is out of time. So now anti-air probably will be attacking this copter. But now we have a little bit of an issue. Now we have a mech here, which is super annoying. So something's got to be done about the mech. And that something is probably going to be this tank. I can see the tank looping around here and attacking the mech. And if it does, then you got this tank to attack this tank. Another anti-air comes in. And then Poland's doing pretty okay over here, all things considered. Let's see what he decides to do. Sacrifices an infantry, moves in with tank, gets the double, activates the power. Attacks the anti-air. And he takes this anti-air down to 3, which is much more effective than 2. Oh, wait. Hold the phone. Okay, we got fresh infantry. So this infantry can go over here and attack this. So that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, it was so much damage. And then, oh, you. Yeah, and let me take it out. Oh, see, Poland's got such good ideas, you know? This man's just full of good ideas over here. That's a nice little idea. I like it. I like it a lot, folks. Like it a lot. But, responds with a forced march. Alright, goes in, gets a nice little double attack, but doesn't get a KO. Unfortunately gets no KOs, but does get a double attack. Sacrifices the infantry to get an interrupt on the property. And now he's bringing in artillery into the equation. Artilleries are incredibly pesky. Unfortunately, the mech still gets the KO on the anti-air, even after all of those attacks. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. Hate to see it, folks. Yeah, you gotta interrupt the capture down south, because you can't just be letting that go through. Alright. Yeah, no. Don't let it go through. Don't let him get the property, Mr. Poland. We can't allow him to have any money. Alright, more tanks on the field. Hunch moves in with his 3 HP. Gets the double. Takes out a 1 HP unit. And then finds an attack on a tank. Pretty significant damage over here. Now, those 2 tanks that went to the corner are locked in. They are not going to be getting out of here. This is a dangerous situation, getting those tanks locked in the corner, because essentially now they're definitely doomed. But the airport is also locked by an anti-air. 5 HP anti-air is what it is, but it's still locked and loaded and incredibly dangerous. We don't want that to be happening long term. And a property is being flipped, which cannot be interrupted due to the fact that there is a second anti-air here. And it is definitely in position to eliminate this battlecopter if we go in. So that's a problem. We got some problems here. Mr. Hunch. He's being far too annoying for our great Mr. Poland. Alright, battlecopter completely swings the other way. Oh, and the tank escapes. He escapes and he attacks the artillery. What an awesome tank. And he was freed by our friend the infantry. Love to see it, folks. This infantry is a gosh darn hero. Gosh darn hero, man. 1 HP battlecopter goes in to try to be a hero, but is immediately destroyed. Beautiful. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. Now, unfortunately, Poland is kind of out of anti-air down south. Now, he's got one more coming because he purchased one last turn, but it's kind of needed, like, right now. So, that guy's got to get down here, like, really, really fast. Yeah. All right. That's decent. So now Poland's putting a threat on the, or not the headquarters, but the comm tower. And it can only be responded to by battlecopters. So if Hunch wants to keep his comm tower, he has to use a battlecopter. Unless I'm missing something, but I think the only thing that he can do is use a battlecopter. So he might just have to allow his... Oh, no. No. He's got a KO there. Alright, so he doesn't have to use the battlecopter. But maybe if he didn't use his power, maybe he would have had to. Alright. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. He found a way, folks. The hunch. Strongest hunch in advances by web finds a way. And he did it. Alright. Comm tower gets denied. So unfortunately for Mr. Poland, I think Hunch's position down south is a little bit stronger than Poland's right now, because the vehicle presence is just very strong. But once he brings over the tanks, it might look a little bit different. Oh, he swings all 3 of the tanks over. Okay, that makes a difference right now. That makes a huge difference. All right, get the old anti-air moving in. Got an attack, got another attack right now. Big hit on a tank and a medium tank. Mr. Hunch! Mr. Hunch busts out the classiest of all the units, folks. The classy medium tank. You love to see it. Now, what can Poland do in response to a medium tank being introduced to this equation? Because that guy, it's a very strong boy. Very strong boy indeed. Now, I do like the fact that this is going to be eliminated by an anti-air. Then we might even potentially see tank attack on mech. It's a possibility. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, tank attack on mech for sure. Battlecopter blocks the airport. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm talking about, folks. That's what I'm actually talking about. And Poland busts out a medium tank of his own. Jesus. Oh my god. I have been blessed with many medium tanks this stream, and I am all for it. Alright, Battlecopter out of the south corner property from Hunch. He loses his airport here, so he needs to bust out the Battlecopters from elsewhere, because he's got to keep them going. He's got to keep them flowing, man. Got to keep them up in the sky. Alright, medium tank Battlecopter coming in up north. Another tank eliminated down south. Another tank moves in. Anti-air has not moved in yet, but he's probably going to be moving in very soon. All right, very curious move over here. So, doesn't actually move in the anti-air any further than this. I would have expected it to be 1 square farther, so that you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 your way over here to get an interrupt on anything that's purchased from the airport. But he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it, which is kind of, I don't know if it was like a time thing, but either way, both of these players are on increment, so it's very difficult to deal with anything that's going to be happening. Maybe he brings it there so that he didn't get Trail of Woe. Was that the reason? I don't know. Anyways, we got a Trail of Woe. Or is it Trial of Woe? Might be Trial of Woe. Is it Trail of Woe or Trial of Woe? Trail of Woe. That's what it is. Trail of Woe. Big interrupts. Big interrupts. Alright, now it's Poland's turn. So he just got Trail of Woe in the face, which is not what you want to be seeing, but you know, sometimes it's what happens, so is what it is. Got the interrupt on the comm tower. Comm tower is not going to get flipped anytime soon, so that's lovely. It's pretty lovely. Alright, nice play over here from Poland. Very secure, very blockage over here. Another medium tank enters the battlefield. Oh my god. Things are getting awfully classy over here. Alright. Takes out the 2 HP tank with a 2 HP battlecopter, allowing the medium tank to push forward. Oh my gosh. That is so unfortunate, but what is very good for Miss Poland is he's going to be able to get this flip. Because Hunch could just not do enough damage. He could not do enough damage to the infantry, so that flip is going through. But sadly, Hunch gets a flip, or gets a property up north. So Poland is going to get 2 flips here, which is going to be very nice. As long as he can remember to get them. There we go. He remembered. He remembered. And that's the most important thing, is remembering to get your flips in Advanced by Web. It's actually the number 6 priority in Advanced by Web, folks, is remembering to get your flips before the end of the turn. highly essential to the overall success of the mission. 23,000 income from Hunch. I wonder if we're going to be seeing a bomber. I'd love to see a bomber, actually. A bomber would be super cool. But no, Hunch is a smelly boy. He's a smelly man. With a smelly soiled abomination. No shorts. The number one priority is get the infantry on the field. That's the number one priority. Have fun is the number 10 priority. Number 10 priority in Advances by Web is always make sure that you have fun. Now, these priorities can happen at any point in the game. So some people might do priority 10 before priority number 1. It's entirely up to the person. But if you're having fun, that is very important. So don't worry about it too much, folks. Don't worry about it too much. It's all good. Everything's all good. Except for Hunch. Hunch is going to be needing some flipping high quality soap in order to wash that stink away. Because that Neo tank. Oh my god. Now Poland needs some soap. This was a very classy game. Right before all this smelliness has entered the battlefield. But anyways. I wanted to see a bomber, personally. I would have loved to see a bomber. Bomber would have been great. Bomber would have been immediately countered by the anti-airs, unfortunately. But, hey, it would have been pretty fun. Alright. Oh, and the Neo tank is going this way. No, that's not where the Neo tank is supposed to go. It's supposed to get over here. And be silly. And not go over here. Alright. So that's annoying. Oh my gosh. What is Poland going to do in this position, in this situation that he's found himself in? He's going for a flip. Might even go through. Oh my god, and his Neo tank is attacking the black boat. That's curious. That's super curious. Because I think this falls. And then Neo tank can attack Neo tank. Or does it fall? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if Hunch can figure out a way how to destroy the anti-air. If it's even at all possible. Because so far, it doesn't seem like it's falling. Folks, it would appear that we have a medium tank, which is in range to attack a Neo tank. Now, this is one of my favorite things in Advances by Web, is witnessing this in person, especially from high level play. So I'm very much hoping that we are going to be seeing it here. Oh yeah, folks. Alrighty here, folks. Now let's see the medium tank attack the soiled abomination from a city on a road. Oh, that was so nice. It was so nice. It was perfect. Perfect. Down to the last minute detail. Perfect. And we got a mid-turn side slip, so that's super cool too. Alright, lots of anti-airs in position. More medium tanks coming in. And basically a complete front shift away from the other portion of the map. Alright, Hunch uses a super. Like, Hunch is not giving up. So this man feels like he is still in this battle. Or maybe Hunch is just the kind of guy that will just fight until the absolute bitter end. This man does not want to give up. He doesn't know the meaning of giving up. I don't even think giving up is in his vocabulary. And if it is, he probably did not even read that page of the dictionary. He probably doesn't even know any words that even start with the letter G. Except for maybe GG, and that's it. But he only says that at the end of the game. So, we'll see. Alright, it is once again Poland's turn. 23-19 right now, and it's day 25. We are approaching endgame here, folks. We got 5 days left. Oh, and we activate the side slip. All right, let's see if we can get it. Oh, we get a luck roll. Oh, we're feeling so lucky. We're feeling lucky. We're feeling lucky. Oh, no. Why do we use the Neo tank to do that? All right, well, whatever. It doesn't even matter. Anyways, let's just keep going here. Medium tank going in, getting those flipping attacks. Like, you have to stop these flips. Have to stop the flips. Oh my god, and it takes out it takes out an artillery. Takes out a flipping artillery. Takes him out. You'll love to see it. Alright, completely overloading the anti-air right now. Hunch has absolutely no power charge. He sacrifices the Neo tank into the medium tank so that the medium tank can feed. And then he's just sacrificing units. He's just sacking units. Why is he sacking units? What is the purpose? Because he resigns. He's eliminated. Mr. Poland has defeated the strongest Hunch in Advanced Wars by Web. But what a flipping game, folks. What a game. Hunch. This man. He's so strong. And he's gotten so strong over the last year. It's absolutely wild. Very proud of him. I've been calling him the strongest Hunch in Advanced Wars by Web for probably about a year or so now. I don't necessarily know why I started saying it or what was the reason, but I just had a feeling like he was going places. So I wanted to just start calling him the strongest Hunch in Advanced Wars by Web. But Poland is Poland, and sometimes Poland's all over the place, and that's all it is, folks. But oh my god, that means that the Holy Polish Empire takes a 5-1 win and moves into the championship round against some other people. Championship round is against Team True Grit. That is who they are playing. That's who my team is playing. And I wish them all the luck in the world, because we are going to need it, because flipping Team True Grit is kind of stacked. They're kind of stacked, folks. Now, I don't know specifically when all the games are going on. I know that Bapton plays a game tomorrow. I'm sure it's probably going to be streamed. So make sure that you're checking the stream spectators, featured content for that. That is going to be happening very soon. Degis versus Poland will be happening on June 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a Saturday, folks. Make sure you're checking that out. I don't know if Degis is going to be streaming it. He might be. He might not be. Personally, I think it would be a little bit too much pressure to stream a game like that. But I'd probably still do it. But anyways, I wish them both the best of luck, because you know what? They're both decent people. So, you know what? I've noticed one thing when I've been watching a lot of these games. And every single time I see people popping up, I'm just like, oh, I like that guy. Oh, he's not on my team. Oh, well, I can't cheer for him. Unless he's fighting somebody else. And I always cheer for people. But I just like cheering for people in general, because I think everybody's cool. And they all need to just do the best job they can possibly do. But that's going to be it for the stream, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed this coverage of the Holy Polish Empire semifinals. The finals will be happening very soon. And once they are over, we will recap the final round and find out if the Holy Polish Empire will succeed in becoming the #1 team in Advanced Wars by Web. Next time, folks. Thanks for the stream, Sammy. Glad to hear you taking care of your health. Yeah, doing my best, man. I'm doing my best. We got to take care of that health. Got to stay alive as long as we possibly can, so we can keep bringing that hot live league action right to your living rooms or lunch rooms, break rooms, wherever you may be watching from. Enjoy yourselves, folks. Take care. And bye-bye for now.